So we've got a super exciting time ahead of us now. The vehicle is done at the panel beaters. We got the canopy on, and it is now time to start pumping out the Hilux. So I'm here at none other than Onca Offroad. These guys are legends in the local industry here in South Africa. They really take the overlanding and off-road industry super seriously. They live it, they breathe it. They're very passionate about the same thing that I'm very passionate about. They just take it to a whole new level. Now, if you ever get the opportunity to come through here and walk around and see all of the amazing vehicles, even if you don't get the opportunity, I'm gonna show you because it is wildly impressive. They've got some monster rigs here, from 79 series Land Cruisers to 200 series to FJ45s. They are Toyota fanatics. They live and breathe this stuff. So I couldn't be happier to be involved with them with the new Rome 2.0 build, because I know my vehicle is in some seriously safe hands, and that Hilux is going to turn into something seriously epic over the next week. So stay tuned.
Welcome to another episode of Rome Overlanding. My name is Adrian Abrahams, and last week we head over to Easyorn to install our camping setup. But now we're going to be heading over to Onca Offroad to give our tame Hilux a facelift and turn it into an absolute beast. Quality is one of Onca's top priorities. So much so that they do every step of the process in their own facility. Everything from cutting, welding, and even the powder coating. Every step of the way, they've got rigorous quality control. And all of that work has led to their new bumpers being ADR certified. This also allows them to service an international market and share their epic South African engineering with the world. I cannot wait to get their products on my vehicle.
So today we're in for a real treat. I'm here at Onca, and if you know Onca, then you know what is about to happen to this Hilux. Here is the front bull bar that's going to be going on. The rear bull bar is hiding over there. We've got a new grille that's going on. We've got Rocksliders going on. We've got a winch going in. Today is going to be epic. And there's no one better to handle this process than Onca. So what we're going to do now is we're going to pull in the Hilux. We're going to start stripping it. Again, it's only been a couple of weeks since it was stripped, but that's how things go. And we're going to start putting everything together. This is where the Hilux goes from just being an ordinary vehicle and becoming something really, really special and really cool. So once we've got the bumpers on, it'll allow us to put on bigger wheels. It'll give us better approach and departure angles. I'll actually have a tow ball on there for potentially using trailers and stuff in the future. We'll have a place for a winch. We're going to have better lighting. It just opens up so many options for us for the build. But anyways, let's get cracking. There's no time to waste.
Onca used to run a fitment center out of their facility, but have recently been focusing their attention on research and development. So I'm actually very lucky to have my bumpers installed here, and we had a ton of work to do to get today's transformation complete. And as you know, along the way, there's always bound to be some setbacks.
So we've already encountered a couple of little issues here that Onca has very kindly sorted out. On either side of the vehicle here, in exactly the same place, there seem to be two stress fractures. This vehicle has done like 80,000 kilometers of hard corrugated roads. What can happen is if the tires aren't deflated correctly, if the suspension isn't capable of handling the weight of the vehicle or the type of terrain, the body of the vehicle can actually start to take on that stress, and actually that's where it becomes affected the most. But then there's also been a couple of areas of some corrosion and stuff like that on the mounting points, so they just want to make sure that that's all primered and cleaned up, that we don't have any issues later down the line once the bumpers and stuff go on. And this just goes to show the kind of meticulous care that Onca have about their product.
Now, like I mentioned earlier, Onca bumpers are ADR certified, and this takes a huge amount of work to achieve. So the bumper needs to be able to crumple in an accident, however still be strong enough to support a recovery attempt from the 12,000-pound winch we're installing. All of the specially engineered brackets will form the foundation for mounting the bumper in both a strong and secure way. It's not as simple as just putting the bumper on. Each vehicle is slightly different, so they build tolerance and adjustability into the bumpers and even consider the fact that the chassis and bumper move independently of the body of the vehicle, so that the gaps between everything need to be perfectly spaced out to ensure that even in extreme off-road environments, the bumper and the body never touch. Each dimension needs to be measured to the millimeter to ensure a perfect fit. You also really get to see how much more tire clearance and approach angle you gain with an upgrade like this. And all of that is just going to help you out even more off-road.
It's so amazing what a difference the bull bar has made. But it's also been really cool to see how much bracketry there is going on here, the different crumple zones and things of the bumper, and seeing it like this, you really get to tell that Onca take safety and strength very seriously on their products. So what we're going to be doing just now is, once all the bracketries, everything's done, the bumper's lined up. I mean, this thing is lined up to the mill. it's pretty perfect. Then they will drop in the winch and the winch cradle and get everything sorted there. What we're going to be putting in is a Smittybilt X20 12,000-pound winch. Obviously the vehicle is going to be quite heavy, and the winch needs to be able to be strong enough to pull the vehicle out comfortably. So I think we're definitely going to be sorted on that side of things. And then we got the lights to install, and we can put in the new grille. So it's a really exciting transformation. That's just the front end of it. We still have to do the rear bumper and the Rocksliders. But I can't wait to see all of this stuff kind of come together. It's seriously transforming the look of the vehicle.
We also decided to have a bit of fun with the build and go for these awesome red bash plates, which are going to protect the sump and transmission while we off-road. And it's also really great knowing we got a winch for this build.
Just putting the finishing touches on the bumper now, and pretty much ready to go on putting on the side steps.
These Rocksliders might work as a side step, but they are far stronger than your average side step and will protect the sill of your vehicle when you get hung up on rocks when you're off-roading.
So we've wrapped up doing the bumpers and everything, we've flipped the car around, and it's now time to get started on doing the rear bumper, hooking up the wiring harness for the towing setup, and yeah, let's get going. I'm super excited to see everything kind of come together, get this baby outdoors and start really having a good look at it and appreciate all of Onca's hard work.
With many hours being put into the installation, they could just wrap up the last little details, and finally we could get to see the setup in all its glory. And just so you know, the sign of a good bumper is not how they look clean, but just how good they're gonna look when they get dirty.
So this has been a very, very cool process, getting to follow the entire installation of the Onca bumpers, side steps and rear bar on this car. It's a massive transformation to the vehicle at the end of the day. And you know, it really takes it from being a standard Hilux and turns it into something quite special. So if you look carefully at the front of the vehicle, you can see we've actually done a facelift at the same time as doing this, because this Delta bar is actually designed for the Dakar shape Hilux. So we've gone ahead, we've done the facelift on the vehicle. It's really kind of brought it into the current times a little bit, maybe not too current, but at least it's looks a little bit newer. And then when we look at the front bar here, you can see we've got the hoops on here. This is just to give a little bit of extra protection. The bar is also available without them. Personally, I just think it's a very rugged look. And if you do happen to hit an animal or something at night or in the late afternoon, at least your vehicle is going to be a little bit more protected. We do also have mounting brackets here to be able to put some additional lights, which we will be working on doing.
And actually what's really nice here is this number plate is very easily removable if you need to do some winching. Now what we have here is we actually have a 12,000 pound Smittybilt X20 waterproof winch. We're running a steel cable at the moment. We might swap to a synthetic cable. I don't know, let's see. So far what I hear of the steel cables is low maintenance, but it is heavy and it is a little bit more dangerous. So it is one of those things to just kind of take into consideration a little bit. But we've also got some additional fog lights here, which just kind of add a bit of an extra kick. The standard ones were quite dim, so it's good to have something a little bit more powerful. And I do want to maybe upgrade my headlights as well. But you know, depending on what we put over here, we may have all the light we need. So speaking of protection, underneath here, we've got a full bash plate. And we've gone for a nice little red color there, so you will be seeing more of this bash plate later. But essentially, we removed the bash plate that was on here. It's seen better days, and the Onca bash plate kind of is going to go all the way underneath here. And then we've got another additional bash plate covering the whole transmission. So we pretty much have got a full skid plate underneath there. And that's just going to give me that peace of mind when going off road and doing really tough stuff, to know that we're not wrecking everything underneath the vehicle. Something that I think is key for anybody with a 4x4 is definitely doing your Rocksliders. Now what's nice with the Onca Rocksliders is that they do at least give you somewhere to stand. So if you do need to use them as a side step to get in the vehicle, or to get up to access your roof rack, or in a bit of a 4x4 recovery where you need to pull on the vehicle a little bit, you've got options. And at the end of the day, they don't just look great and add a nice little red accent, but they're actually, again, they're functional. And on the rear, now the rear you can go quite crazy. You can go super functional on the rear. You can have spare wheel carriers and carry extra jerry cans and all sorts of things like that. But for me, I've gone for a simple setup. I don't want the extra weight hanging over the rear axle. I want the vehicle to feel balanced. So I've gone for just the standard bar. We've got our 2 recovery points. We've got high lift jacking points. We've got a tow bar if we want to one day tow a trailer or something like that. If you're going 4x4ing though, I would remove the tow ball because it obviously sits very low and it's going to really hamper your departure angles. It's simple to remove, 2 bolts, it's out, and you're ready to go. But you know what? All of the Onca products, they look incredible. They've been designed really, really well, and they're made to be strong. So I'm very, very happy to have partnered with Onca for Roam 2.0. I think they've done an incredible job kitting out this vehicle, and I cannot wait to get out into the bush and really start putting the gear to the test. But thank you so much for watching this episode and seeing this transformation. And I hope you're going to tune in next week, because you can see she's sitting a bit low, she's a little bit heavy, and next week we're going to be upgrading the suspension. We're going to be putting on some bigger tires. So I cannot wait for that. It's really, again, this vehicle is going to look like a beast. But anyways, guys, we'll see you next week. Cheers.
Thank you for tuning into this episode of Roam Overlanding. I just wanted to take a moment to thank my awesome patrons for their support, as well as let you know if you want to join in on our weekly live streams and updates, you should head over to Patreon and become a member. And I'd love to know what you think of the Onca transformation down below. On the next episode of Roam Overlanding, we head over to Fox, South Africa to get the Hilux sitting and riding better than ever. So subscribe and enable the notification bell so you don't miss out. I also want to thank all of my incredible product partners for all of their incredible work. Without you guys, this wouldn't be possible. Anyways, see you next week.